All right. So I think one of the last questions here to ask, right? I think one of the last questions here to ask is what matters in identity, right? All of these questions that we've just asked over the last two videos, frankly, doesn't matter, right? Because here I am, I'm sitting here, I'm recording these video lectures. You're hopefully watching, right? Hopefully, maybe getting something out of the conversation, but it doesn't matter, right? Are all of these questions going to change much? Because it still remains that we are who it is we are, right? And maybe we have to reconcile that. Maybe we feel good about it. Maybe we feel bad about it. Maybe we kind of go back and forth of feeling good, feeling bad, and of being able to reconcile, of being able not to reconcile. So, this is what Olson asks on page 71, right? What matters in identity? What is the practical importance of facts about our identity and persistence? Why should we at all care about it? Why does it matter? Okay. Imagine that surgeons are going to put your brain into my head and that neither of us has any choice about this. Will the resulting person, who will presumably think he is you, be responsible for my actions or yours or both, right? And we're going to see this kind of question play out again in a couple, not next week, but the week after, I believe. Okay. So, and Olson makes the provocative claim, perhaps, that identity itself has no practical importance, right? I mean, because we are who it is that we are. But I think metaphysically, it definitely has an importance. I think metaphysically, these questions are worthwhile and worthy of engaging in. Okay. All right. And so then what Olson does here is on 71 goes into understanding the persistence question more in depth, right? And the idea of let's turn to the persistence questions, right? The question is what is necessary and sufficient for the past or future being to be you, okay? So again, like thinking our identity through time. And then the question, then there's certain questions about, numerical identity. To say that this is numerically identical is to say one and the same. And he talks about twins, right? And we'll remember this kind of marker for next week, okay? Yeah, and then Olson goes on, kind of continuously, kind of like thinking about this, and then accounts of our identity through time. And he has a couple of different approaches where he says the psychological approach, the somatic approach, and anti-sentimentalism. Okay? And I'm going to let you go ahead and read those on your own. Because again, if we had more time, there's the small again, doing things. Small, what are you looking at? Okay. Her name's the small because she's very small. At least that's how I've denoted her identity to her. But she also seems to exhibit small-like tendencies. Okay. All right. So anyway, Olson goes through the psychological approach, somatic approach, and anti-sentimentalism, which I will let you kind of read on your own. And if we had more time to kind of like dive in as a class and in-class discussions, we would certainly have that. But I hope that kind of this discussion kind of gears us into place, kind of just engaging in these questions that I think are really fulfilling and really kind of challenging and worthwhile of thinking about personal identity, who it is that we are, who it is that we think we are, who it is that we've been, and who it is we hope to be. So have a great weekend, everybody, and next week we will kind of continue on with this theme, but in a bit of a different way. Cheers.